I still see that this whole thing with Fender's going on, and I'll go and pick up this bass and start playing, and I don't really think to myself like, oh, am I not supposed to be playing my Fender right now? Because if that's the case, I mean, I kind of don't see the point in that. Like, this is the bass that I have. Yes, I have other basses, but this bass has been with me through a lot. Despite what Fender may be going through as a company, I'm not going to turn my back on them right now because I don't care, because I've got my custom shop Strat that I got back in 1995, I think. I've got this P bass. I got rid of all my other P basses. I only have this one P bass out of the 7 or 8 that I've owned. This is the only one that remains, my 1966 P. And then I've got my 2007 natural finish made in Mexico jazz bass. It might need a little work as far as when you get up high on the frets. That's my only gripe about it. I have those basses because I feel like, I've said this before, but I like the idea of having those basses because they are crowd pleasers or studio pleasers, as I've said in the past. People want to hear them. And you know, once I get used to it and I've been fiddling with it a lot, like I really sink into the P bass quite well. And even better with the jazz bass. This was a better made bass than my made in Mexico. And I know it's like, well, duh, but yeah, I mean, it's just a better bass than that bass. Like, I can get everything I want out of this bass, and that's why it's my bass of choice for the Fender stuff. But I'm still searching for that bass that's like the be all end all for me. And I do believe that it's a boutique bass. I think that, you know, if I had a fretted version of the Padula Buzz bass, like if I had an MVP 4 or whatever, I think that would probably, I would look no further. Honestly, I would say, this is my bass. This is my burial bass. And I kind of feel that way about the Buzz bass when I get into it and I play it. But the thing I have always struggled with that bass is the pickups, you know? I've never really been a huge fan of Bartolini, but I do believe that those Bartolinis that are in that bass should stay there, and I shouldn't have tampered with them. The Stingray is great. The fretless Stingray, I love it. It's my only Stingray now. I love the ATK, even though it weighs a ton. You know, I still play that bass a lot, and sometimes I'll get that out. Ibanez makes a great product. I really love their instruments a lot. But I'm still searching for that bass. I've looked at F basses a couple of times and considered them. As you guys know, I love the Sandberg stuff. But overall, I'm still searching. I still have yet to find that instrument that totally and completely speaks to me and makes me feel like, hey, this is it. This is it. None of the others matter. If I had to pick that bass out of the ones that I have, of course, I've said it's got to be the Padula, but I really love my acoustic-electric bass. It's so much fun to play. I don't have to plug it in. I could go on for hours talking about why that is such a great bass to have in my collection, because it's the bass that I truly play the most. I play that bass more than any other bass, and that is simply the reason why, because you don't have to plug it in. You pick it up and instantly you have tone, you have sound, you can hear it. Never really put out an actual Fender video talking about them, but I really don't truly understand what's going on with it because I haven't been able to stay focused long enough to read about it or even watch any of these videos all the way through. I'm just kind of like, okay, so they're telling other people not to make instruments that look like theirs. Well, guess what? I don't care because I don't want an instrument that looks like, you know, sometimes I'll play basses and I'm sitting there thinking like, wow, this is a great bass, but it looks so much like a Fender. It just doesn't have. That's why I love the Padula so much. You know, that's why I love my Crafter acoustic-electric bass, because they look different. I want a different headstock. I'm tired of this head. I want a different kind of headstock. I want a different kind of body. And, you know, honestly, I want a different kind of neck. I want an even more pleasant neck. I mean, I think still the best basses ever made still to me are Padula basses, but and some Ken Smith basses I've played are phenomenal, you know, as well as your Ibanez here and there. But speaking as someone who's Played a lot of different boutique basses, whether it be Michael Tobias basses, which are amazing as well. Those are really good, actually. Tobias basses are awesome. And speaking of looking different, I always loved the old school Tobias. I'm trying to remember what they call that bass, but yeah, they just have a really cool look to them. And for that reason alone, I just don't care about Fender being crybabies. It forces other companies to think more outside of the box and be more innovative. So it's like, I would just kind of be like, you know what, F you with your patent, and you telling me, we can't make something that looks kind of like what you do. Well, then so be it. We'll make something better. That's what these other companies need to do. Do I think that they're bullying on the little guys? Of course they are. Yeah. And I don't like bullies, Bullies need to get beat down all the way, So I don't have enough knowledge about the situation to have a strong enough opinion to pick sides. I just don't care. I'm sort of indifferent, These instruments, if they leave me for any reason, I won't really necessarily look to replace them, like for a P bass, for example, like a PJ bass, because I would love to have another PJ style bass. Well, if I'm going to do that, it's going to be a Yamaha, man. It's going to be a Yamaha BB734. I think that's right. But that bass that I played a few months back at Guitar Center, whoa, what a bass, really. Look no further. If you're just looking for a well-rounded bass that won't put you in the poorhouse, but has quality to it, the BB734 is it. The sweet spot is probably the BB, is it the 434? I think it's the 434. There's a BB234, I think. Anyway, there's one that's in the middle, and I think that's the sweet spot in the budget. I think it costs around $350, maybe $400. But, for $700 or $800, I think it's $800. For $800 or $900, the BB734, that's where I would go. I would look no further than that. If like that were my budget and someone says, look, this is all you've got, I would be like, okay, I'm going to whatever music store and I'm going to grab me a Yamaha BB734 because they sound great, they look great, and they play great. So yeah, give me your thoughts. I mean, I think it's kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but if you want to talk about the Fender stuff, you have a strong opinion, and you think that, there's something I need to know about that situation, so be it. I'm just, like I said, I'm not on their side per se. I just don't have a very strong opinion about that situation. Therefore, I don't care to pick sides right now. I just don't care to pick sides. And I guess that's about it. I don't think I really spoke. Oh, and to let me know if you had to pick another bass and you wanted to move away from playing your typical P bass or whatever it may be, but you wanted to pick something different. I don't mean like Stingray or G&L. Like, what would you pick out? I want to know. Let me know. I mean, do you guys know of any good boutique basses? Let me know. It's been great catching up with you. I hope to have another video out to you very, very soon.